class 10th. Today we will continue with chapter 9, the national movement from 1935 to 42. Today's topic are Subhash Chandra Bose and socialism, formation of the Indian National Army. We will discuss the following points. So the objectives of today's topic are objectives of INA, significance and achievements of INA. Now we will discuss the following key terms. Number 1. Economic Depression of 1929. It began in the United States in 1929 and spread worldwide. Was the longest and most severe economic downturn in modern history. Number 2. All India Trade Union Congress. It is the oldest trade union federations in India. It is not affiliated to any political party. Number 3. Revolutionary. A person who advocates or engages in political revolution. Number 4. Provisional government. It is also called an interim government, is an emergency governmental authority set up to manage a political transition, generally in the cases of new nations or following the collapse of the previous governing administration. Subhash Chandra Bose and socialism. The 1930s saw the rapid growth of socialistic ideas within and outside the Congress. It was much due to the Great Economic Depression of 1929. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose played the most important part in popularizing the vision of socialistic India, especially when he was elected the president of the Congress in 1938 and 1939. He did a lot in this direction. He suggested different measures to establish a socialist society. There was rapid growth of socialistic ideas within and outside the Congress in 1930s just because of economic depression in 1929. Subhash Chandra Bose along with Jawaharlal Nehru was a strong supporter of socialist ideas. Subhash Chandra Bose did lot in this direction when he was elected the president of Congress, and he also suggested different measures to establish a socialist society. Number 1. He suggested the abolition of zamindari to end the exploitation of the peasants, abolition of the landlord system and promotion to the interest of the peasants and workers. He urged, means advised, the government to reduce the land revenue and make proper arrangement of rural loans. He suggested the government to lessen the land revenue and make proper arrangement of rural loans by introduction of a new monetary and credit system. He took a great part in the foundation of the All India Trade Union Congress along with Jawaharlal Nehru to press the government for recognizing the demands of the workers. Along with Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose took part in the foundation of the All India Trade Union Congress. He proposed the state planning for the reorganization of agriculture and industry on socialist lines. Formation of the Indian National Army and its main objectives. The Second World War broke out in 1939 because of his national zeal and revolutionary ideas. The British government interned, means imprisoned, Subhash in his house at Calcutta in January 1941. He escaped from India in March 1941 and went to Russia for help. But when Russia joined the Allies, he went to Germany. In February 1943, he left for Japan to organize an armed struggle against the English with the help of the Japanese. In Singapore, he organized the Azad Hind Fauj, the Indian National Army or INA, for the freedom of his country. It was helped by Ras Bihari Bose, an old revolutionary. He had already organized the Indian Independence League to attain the complete and immediate independence of India. In 1939, the Second World War broke out. In July 1940, Bose was arrested under the Defense of India rules. He went on a hunger strike. As his health was declining rapidly, the government released him. Thereafter, government imprisoned Subhash in his house at Calcutta in January 1941 just because of his national enthusiasm and his revolutionary ideas. He escaped from India in March 1941 and went to Russia. But when Russia joined the Allies, he went to Germany. The Indian community in Germany welcomed him as their leader. In February 1943, he left for Japan to organize an armed struggle against the English. With the help of the Japanese, in August 1943, he took the charge of Indian National Army, Azad Hind Fauj, and became its supreme commander in Singapore. A definite shape was given to this idea by the Indian revolutionary Ras Bihari Bose. He had already organized the Indian Independence League to attain the complete and immediate independence of India. Likewise, the Indian National Army had already been formally established in September 1942 with Mohan Singh acting as its first commander-in-chief. After taking the charge, Subhash Chandra became the president of the Indian Independence League as well as the supreme commander of the Indian National Army. The INA was joined in large numbers by the Indians living in Southeast Asia and by the Indian soldiers and officers captured by the Japanese forces in Burma, Malaya and Singapore. He was called Netaji by the soldiers. He gave the call to his soldiers, "Give me blood and I shall give you freedom." His battle cry was "Dilli Chalo." He set up recruitment and training departments as well. Training camps were opened for men and women. He also founded the Provisional Government of Free India at Singapore in October 1943. The government was recognized by 9 world powers including Germany, Italy, Japan and Burma. The idea of the Indian National Army had already been formally established in September 1942, was conceived in Malaya by Mohan Singh, an Indian officer in the British Indian Army. After taking the charge, Subhash Chandra became the president of the Indian Independence League as well as the supreme commander of the Indian National Army. The INA was formed in large by the Indians living in Southeast Asia and Indian soldiers and officers captured by the Japanese forces in Burma, Malaya and Singapore. Subhash Chandra Bose gave the call to his soldiers, "Give me blood and I shall give you freedom." His battle cries were "Dilli Chalo," "March to Delhi," and "Jai Hind," "Victory to India." Recruitment and training camps were opened in large numbers to cope with the rush of volunteers offering themselves for the INA. On 21st October 1943, he announced the Provisional Government of Free India. 9 countries including Germany, Japan, Burma, Italy and Thailand recognized his government. Thereafter, he started his military campaign, means attack against the English. The Japanese handed over the Andaman and Nicobar Islands to Netaji. He renamed them as Shahid and Swaraj Islands, respectively. Thus, he acquired the first stretch of territory in Free India. Thereafter, he started his military campaign against the English. He renamed Andaman and Nicobar Islands as Shahid and Swaraj Islands after he got them from the Japanese. Objectives of the INA. The main objectives of the INA were: number 1, to organize an armed rebellion, means revolt, and to attack the British Army with modern arms. The motto of INA was Unity, Faith, Sacrifice. To organize an armed revolution and to fight the British Army with modern weapons. Number 2. The rebellion to be organized by the Indians living in East Asia. Since it was not possible for the Indians to organize an armed revolution from their homeland, this task was be assigned to the Indians living abroad, particularly in East Asia, to set up a provisional government of Free India in order to mobilize the forces effectively. In order to prepare all the forces effectively, a provisional government of Free India was organized. Total mobilization means gathering of Indian manpower and money for the rebellion. For a complete war, total preparation of Indian manpower and money was done. The Subhash Brigade was dispatched from Rangoon, now Yangon, towards Prom on the Burmese front in February 1944. This brigade captured Paletwa, Delitum, and Modak and entered the frontiers of India. Later on, the INA captured the strong military post of Klang or Klang. The Subhash Brigade gave a tough fight to the British forces in the Assam hills and succeeded in capturing Ukral and Kohima. The main objective of the INA was to capture Imphal, the capital city of Manipur. The Subhash Brigade was dispatched from Rangoon towards Prom on the Burmese front in February 1944. This brigade captured Paletwa, Delitum, and Modak and entered the frontiers of India. They captured the strong military post of Klang or Klang. The INA gave a tough fight to the British forces in the Assam hills and succeeded in capturing Ukral and Kohima. They raised the tricolour flag for the first time on the liberated Indian soil on March 19, 1944. The main objective of the INA was to capture Imphal, the capital city of Manipur. Gandhi and Azad brigades advanced within 2 miles of Imphal, but the Japanese had to withdraw their forces and aeroplanes from the Indo-Burma border because of their entanglement with the Americans in the Pacific Ocean. At the same time, the rainy season set in earlier. These two events turned the tide against the INA, which failed to seize Imphal. The bombardment means continuous attack with bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki forced Japan to surrender in 1945. These fighters of the Indian freedom were also overpowered by the British Army. It is supposed that Subhash was killed in an aeroplane accident on his way to Tokyo. The INA victories were short-lived. Gandhi and Azad brigades advanced within 2 miles of Imphal, but the Japanese forces had to withdraw from the Indo-Burma border because of their entanglement with the Americans in the Pacific Ocean. At the same time, the rainy season set in. Rangoon was recaptured by the British. The bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki forced Japan to surrender in 1945. INA men were disarmed and made prisoners of war. The Japanese official version was that Netaji died on August 18, 1945 in an aeroplane accident. After the war was over, the government decided to prosecute, means conduct legal proceedings, 3 of the INA officers, viz. Sehgal, Dhillon and Shah Nawaz, for treason. It gave rise to a wave of anger and protest. There were huge demonstrations all over the country. The court-martial held the accused guilty and they were convicted. But the government had to yield before the public opinion. As a result, these officers were set free. The new struggle took the form of a massive movement against the trial of the soldiers and officers of the INA. The government decided to put on trial in the Red Fort at Delhi officers of the INA, Shah Nawaz Khan, Gurdial Singh Dhillon and Prem Sehgal, who had earlier been officers in the British Indian Army. The people welcomed them as national heroes. Demonstrations demanding their release were held over the country. The British government was at the time in no position to ignore Indian opinion. Even though the court martial held the INA prisoners guilty, the government had to set them free. Significance and achievements of INA. The INA set an inspiring example of patriotism before the Indian people. Achievements of INA. The INA set a motivating example of patriotism before the Indian people. The heroic deeds means courage and sacrifices of the soldiers of INA led to political consciousness among the Indian forces. The courage and sacrifices of the soldiers brought political consciousness among the Indian forces and Indian people. The British now realized that they could not rely on the Indian forces to continue their rule in India. The Britishers now realized that their days were numbered in India. The INA trial attracted great attention in India and England. The decision to hold the trial in public in the Red Fort in Delhi created huge excitement. It became a rallying point, means gathering for independence movement from autumn 1945. The INA trial attracted great attention both in England and India. It created huge excitement at the Red Fort in Delhi. It became a meeting point for independence movement from autumn 1945. Later on, the release of INA, prisoners and suspension of the trial gave a great impetus to the campaign for freedom. The release of INA prisoners and withdrawal of the trial gave great motivation to the campaign for freedom. Most of the historians agree that the INA trials and its effects brought a decisive shift in British policy. They now began to feel that their days were numbered. Most of the leaders agreed that INA trials and its effects brought a final shifting in British policy. They now realized that their days in India were less. Thus, the INA played an important role in the British final decision to quit India. Thus, INA played an important role in the Britishers' final decisions to quit India.